Political discourse in India has hit rock bottom all over again, and all the parties are to be blamed for it equally. Earlier this week, Union Minister Ravneet Bittu called the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, a terrorist. Now, this comment has triggered a blistering response from the Congress and a war of words with the BJP. A Shiv Sena MLA also made objectionable comments on Rahul Gandhi. Now, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge was prompted by this and shot off a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi demanding that he inculcate some sense of discipline within his party leaders and allies. In response to Mallikarjun Kharge's letter, BJP President JP Nadda wrote a hard-hitting letter to the Congress President listing all the abuses that the Congress leaders have hurled against Prime Minister Narendra Modi over the years. JP Nadda has also called the Congress's outrage, quote-unquote, selective. But this Bittu comment is just one in many comments that have been made across party lines over the years. Leaders cutting across all party lines, have been, so to speak, crossing the line with a disturbing frequency. And the political discourse in the country has been in a state of complete freefall. Today on the show, we ask, who will put a pause to the politics of abuse, and how can we restore the language of our politics? How can we ensure some civility, some sense of civility at least in the discourse? Well, joining me on the show tonight, Dr. Nasir Hussain, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament of the Congress Party, Pradip Bhattacharya, National Spokesperson of the BJP. We have Pradip Bhatti, Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Krishna Hegde, Spokesperson and ex-MLA of the Shinde Sena, and Aarti Jairaj, Senior Journalist, would put all of this in context for us. Instead of beginning with the political stakeholders, Aarti, I actually want to begin by asking you, as somebody who's tracked Indian politics for decades, how do you look at the current political discourse and how different is it from the way it used to be in the past?
Very, very different, Rishika. I have never seen this degree of uncivility, if that's the word, in political discourse. Yes, I remember, Pilu Modi once, many years ago, walked into Parliament with a big sign saying, I am a CIA agent, which was like a kind of riposte to, Indira Gandhi saying that the CIA was plotting and planning against her. But, that was a witticism. That was a, sort of a humorous kind of take on things, on what Indira Gandhi had said. There was no attempt to insult her or humiliate her or anything. And this is, and even when they were, I remember the kind of repartee and the kind of, exchanges between, say, Vajpayee and Chandrasekhar, very, very sharp in Parliament, but, never hitting below the belt. And outside the house, they were really good friends, exchanging, very good comrades, exchanging hearty laughs and, jokes and so on and so forth. You see, this is what is missing in today's politics. There is no friendship anymore. They see each other as enemies. They may be political opponents, they may be political rivals, but earlier they didn't see each other as enemies. Today, they see each other as enemies.
Okay.
And this is what has changed in Indian politics today, that they're no longer competitors. They are, it's almost like fighting a war. And, it's very, very disturbing that politics should reach this level.
Yes. I think the larger question here also is what that does to the larger public perception. When political discourse is lowered, when people's representatives behave this way, I think it's an embarrassment for everybody in the country. Everybody who's participating or monitoring that public discourse in a certain sense is affected by it. Dr. Nasir Hussain, would you agree with what Aarti just said, that it's really changed over a period of time, that there isn't just an animosity that's on cameras or for television stations, but that animosity actually transcends. People just aren't friends anymore, not even behind the scenes. And that's what's actually leading to this discourse hitting rock bottom.
See, whatever we have studied, whatever we have heard, whatever we have read in newspaper and books, and whatever I have seen in my own political life for the past 20-25 years, ideologies apart, differences of opinion apart, politicians from different parties did have a cordial relationship. I myself have a relationship with different MPs from different political parties, both in the opposition and the parties that are there in power. But unfortunately, what has happened in India for the past 10 years is that there is animosity, there is rivalry, there is loose talk, below the belt talk, then calling names and going to the extent of targeting senior leadership. And what level have you gone?
Yes.
And what is happening? Somebody is calling Mr. Rahul Gandhi #1 terrorist of the country. Somebody else is repeating that. Somebody from BJP is saying that तेरी बाप की जैसी हालत तुम्हारी कर दूंगा. Somebody is saying इसकी जबान काटने के लिए 11 lakh रुपए देंगे. What is this atmosphere that is being created? And then and what did Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, the president of our party and also the leader of opposition, right? He just mentioned and wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of the country, because it was not just the people or the MPs leaders from BJP, but also the leaders from the alliance parties who were doing these kind of comments and statements. So that's the reason he wrote to the Prime Minister of the country and says that these people should be reined in. These people should be taken to task. There should be cases against them. And then why is a letter that has been written to the Prime Minister of the country getting a reply from the party president of BJP? Is Nadda the Prime Minister of the country?
Okay, fair enough. I think the point that you raised on the fact that this has become a letter versus letter war. No, I think the fact that you've raised a point that this has become a letter versus letter war is one part of the story. But the other part of the story is also the fact that the BJP has only held up a mirror to you. Pradip Bhattacharya, do you want to come in? There are several allegations that have been levelled by the Congress against the BJP for lowering the political discourse.
Can I take 30 minutes? Can I take 30 seconds?
I can give you 30 seconds, sir. Please go ahead. Finish your point.
Yeah. See what kind of mirror are they showing? Has any congressman said that Modi ko maar dega? Has any congressman has said that itne lakh, itne crore rupees de denge inke jeep kaatne ke liye? This is the similar kind of the atmosphere that was created when Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated.
Okay.
And their ideological forefathers had done the same thing.
Okay.
During same thing when Mr. Gandhi was assassinated. So that's what they are trying to do now. The similar kind of an atmosphere is being created.
All right.
Growth ka mahol kaun bana rahe and who is giving shine to them?
Okay, you've raised several questions. It's only fair. You've raised several questions. It's only fair that we get the BJP.
Just one second. If Modi is really concerned, he should have replied back to the Congress president.
Okay.
He should have said that I'll
Pradip Bhattacharya, respond to that twofold allegation. One is, why is your party president responding to a letter that was addressed to the Prime Minister of the country? And the second point is the fact that you can't say that you've held up a mirror to the Congress party, because as far as the political discourse is concerned, it's not comparable. That's the allegation the Congress is making. Your response?
Well, Rishika, first of all, let me remind my friend from the Congress party. Congress leader Subodh Khan Sai said, Modi Hitler ki maut marega. That is what Subodh Khan Sai said. He has not been suspended from the Congress party. Congress member of parliament Imran Masood said that Modi ki boti kar denge. He has been rewarded with a Lok Sabha ticket. Rahul Gandhi in a public rally said that Modi ko chappal or chappalon se peeta jayega. Rahul Gandhi is the LOP of the Congress party. Mallikarjun Kharge said ki Zehrila Saap. Mallikarjun Kharge is the leader of the Congress party in Rajya Sabha. So if I go on and say Modi Lala Ek Beta, Modi Hitler, Namak Haram, Hindustan Ka Chaukidar Chor, Anpad Gawar Sala, all types of abusive slurs have been used, and if I go on, your entire program will only 30 minutes will pass. So the entire essence of this has been that the Congress party has rewarded individuals who want the Prime Minister of this country to be physically being abused, who want the Prime Minister of this country to be hurt physically, and who want his life to be in danger. And this is what the mentality of the Congress party is. Now, this is not new for the Congress party, because they cannot digest the fact that a poor man, a humble worker from the ground rises to be the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He was called as Maut Ka Saudagar at a time by the Congress that time Congress President Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. It was all appropriated by the Congress party and celebrated by the Congress party. He became the Prime Minister of this country by the support of the people of India. The dynasty could not digest it, and one after the other they passed abusive slur against the Prime Minister. If that was not enough, if you remember when the Prime Minister security had suffered a breach, there were Congress leaders like the Indian Youth Congress President, Mr. Shri, I don't remember his name. He said, and I will quote his statement, Modi housed the Josh. They were celebrating the fact that Prime Minister's security breach happened. In fact, they celebrated the fact and said that Modi, Hitler ki maut marega. So what do they wish?
Point?
They wish the Prime Minister of this country, allow me to please complete. I'm coming. This entire discourse is not, it's not for the recent time which has happened. The Congress party is the party which has rewarded individuals who want the Prime Minister to be physically harmed. The Congress party is the party which appropriates violence. If you remember what happened in 1984, the Sikhs of this country suffered state-sponsored violence. What did Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, then Prime Minister, said? That bada ped girta hai to thodi bahut tremors hote hain. Sikhs lost their life. Do you see any Prime Minister saying that? Point number one.
You're essentially telling our viewers Pradip Bhandari that you are no different from the Congress in 1984.
We are different. No, Rishika.
That's essentially what you're saying.
No, we are absolutely, no. I will tell you the difference.
What is the difference?
I was not speaking
How
at
are
the
you
time of the
different?
Congress.
How are you any different
I will tell you the difference. I am telling you. I am telling you. Please tell us. I am telling you. Please tell us one statement. One statement. Mr. Sir, when you were speaking, I was not interrupting. Please have a patient hearing. Rahul Gandhi is the LOP. Rahul Gandhi is the face of the Congress party. He is the face of the Congress party. Asks and abuses. He incites a crowd to physically harm the Prime Minister. Has the Prime Minister done that with Mr. Rahul Gandhi? Has the Home Minister done that with Mr. Rahul Gandhi? No. We respect decency. And to the latter point, Rishika, who is Mr. Kharge? He is the Congress party president. Who is Mr. Kharge? He represents the Congress party in Rajya Sabha. Our party president, Mr. Nadda, will respond to the president's letters of the Congress party.
This is exactly the kind of discourse I think that we were trying to debate and talk about here. Unfortunately, we've slipped back into the very same pattern, not very far into the show, but there are representatives of two more political parties. I have to give them a chance to come in as well. Pradip Bhatti of the Samajwadi Party, do you want to come in here? Because, honestly, the deduction you make after hearing Dr. Hussain and Pradip Bhandari is the fact that they've both, in a certain sense, shown each other a mirror. And you can't differentiate one from another. They speak exactly the same language on two different sides of the political spectrum. Pradip Bhatti?
Thank you and good evening. There shouldn't be any place for abusive language in politics. And the question arises that abusive language is becoming a political discourse by every passing day in the country today. I found it nothing surprising or new, as BJP has a history of using this bad, foul, abusive language from inside parliament and on the street also. If you give me not 30 minutes, I can go on with the names also for 60 minutes. Calling LOP as a terrorist is highly objectionable. There was a time when the leader of opposition party, Mr. Vajpayee, was sent to UN as a representative of India. So I remember Shabana's 4 lines that जो खानदानी रईस हैं वो रखते मिजाज नर्म अपना, तुम्हारी लहजा बता रहा है, तुम्हारी दौलत नहीं है, जरा सा कुदरत ने तुम्हें क्या सवारा, अभी से उड़ने लगे हवा में, अभी तो शोहरत नहीं है. So the BJP has to understand that they are in power. They have to keep their language, their words. They have to use the calculative words. They should not be abusive, because being in power, you are presenting. I can give numerous cases and numerous words that Honorable Prime Minister has used against so many leaders. And so as in Uttar Pradesh also, if you see, Honorable CM is also using these 4 language from for a long time. So that these rewards are also there in BJP. What has happened to the abusive member of parliament, which was rewarded with in charge of Rajasthan? So Mr. Bhandari, share that thing also. And when you are
the
saying that you have
I have to say, I'm very sorry, Mr. Pradip Bhatti, and I'm guessing Aarti will agree with me, but the instances that you're all pointing out, one by one, it's just further pointing to the rot that already exists. The fact that there's absolutely no civility or even pretense of civility that is now left in the political discourse. Krishna Hegde, spokesperson and ex-MLA of the Shinde Sena, also with us. One of your representatives also was right in the center of this very political debate, targeting Rahul Gandhi, made some objectionable remarks. Where do you think, Mr. Hegde, as a senior member of your party, where do you think the buck stops? How do we end this? Somebody is going to have to take the high moral ground.
Rishika, first let me address what the Congress spokesperson was saying. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is a 3-time and successful Prime Minister of this country. And I think some people are unable to digest that, and therefore they've abused him 110 times in the last 10 years. And if now Kharge ji is writing a letter, JP Nadda ji has only shown him a mirror and said, this is what your people have been doing, and I don't think anything is wrong with that. Secondly, let me tell you that our MLA, Sanjay Gaikwad, firstly, Rahul Gandhi during the Lok Sabha election created a false narrative. He said, Samvidhan ko khatra hai, the constitution in danger. He said the constitution will be changed. He said for a few votes, he said that,
No, but I think one second, Mr. Hegde, I think there has to be
listen.
some kind of a distinction that has to be made between
Rishika,
political
Rishika.
narratives and below the bell personal attacks. I think there has to be some kind of a distinction that has to be made. The reason why we are discussing how the political discourse is in dissent is not because of the politics of it, but because of how personal and how ugly it has gotten.
Rishika, first let me tell you, no one is anyone's enemy. Politics has become very competitive now, and therefore there are high stakes. And let me admit, because of high stakes, there are some people, who show more anger than the others.
Okay.
Let me also tell you that here, when Sanjay Gaikwad has said something like this is in context to what Rahul Gandhi has been doing in the Lok Sabha elections. And then he goes to the USA and, he attacks India from foreign soil. And then he says that, we will stop reservation. So Sanjay Gaikwad, being, a devotee of Baba Saheb Ambedkar, was aghast with this. He was angry. And therefore, while he was explaining this, he made this statement. It was wrong of him to make the statement. But the state government has filed an FIR against him.
I'm sure half
so
the reason the political discourse is in free fall stems from some anger that somebody has against somebody else. So I think that is the underlying cause of everything.
No, obviously. So you can't go and attack the country from foreign soil.
Or it is being done for the optics.
Can I
or it's not genuine and it's being done for the optics.
Rishika, you cannot attack the country from a foreign soil and talk about, reservations being abolished.
Dr. Hussain is a lot of this about the optics.
See, I think the Shiv Sena leader is accepting that his colleague in his party did announce a ransom for the tongue of Rahul Gandhi. He is accepting, and what he said is right. That is what he wants to say. He should understand it was not Mr. Rahul Gandhi who started this, going to foreign soil and speaking of the country. It was Narendra Modi ji who started it. You should recall what he said in USA, what he said in France, in Vietnam, in Korea, in UK, in Dubai. Everywhere he went and he blamed the past government. He went and played the past prime ministers. He went and played the opposition parties.
This is not about what. This is not about a he said, she said, or who said what. This is not a he said, she said, or who said what. This is a show where we're exactly talking about why the discourse has lowered to the level. Dr. Hussain, I had a simple question for you. You're a senior parliamentarian, senior member of the Congress. I want to ask you, is a lot of this very genuine animosity or is a lot of it for optics?
See, now you heard the BJP spokesperson speaking here. You heard the Shinde Shiv Sena spokesperson speaking here. The Shinde Shiv Sena spokesperson says, and he is accepting that his colleague has said that, and he's approving of it. So what is this? This means that there is animosity by these parties. It means that these parties are spreading this hatred against its opponents.
Nasir Hussain, do not put words in my mouth and do not lie on national TV. I did not approve it. I said,
and that's what you are saying. You say that you're condoning it. You are accepting and condoning it. He said this because Rahul Gandhi went and fought on foreign soil.
I told you that an FIR has been filed against him. You please listen to what I have said. So if a FIR has been filed against him, there is no way that we are approving of any such statement. But we are also talking about the context.
Like I said, you all haven't given me a straight answer on whether this is all being done for the optics of TV channels and public discourse, or is there actually very genuine animosity. Either way, whatever is happening behind the scenes, whether you all are shaking hands and hugging behind the scenes, the discourse that is there in the public domain for the viewer to consume is very, very unfortunate on most days and has fallen to all new lows. We are hoping that something will change and that some political party or some politician will be willing to take the high moral ground. That's all the time we have in this edition of Left, Right and Centre. Thanks very much for watching.